All right, we're live. We're live. We're live. We're not in the Closers Cafe room yet, but we're trying something new. The in-person cafe. If you want to join us in the Zoom room, the link for that is in the description. We've moved that from Zoom, so I guess I misspoke there. It's not in the Zoom room. We've moved that from Zoom over to School for a number of reasons. So if you want to join live in our meeting room so you can see the see my screen and share more information, etc., all you have to do is use the link in the description. And if you're watching on TikTok, go to the YouTube channel, Josh Shanley Coaching, and then find the link in the description over there. So let's see here. Allow while using. Watch this. Let's see here. Look at this. It worked. It seems to have worked. Ha! Look at that. I'm going to pin myself for everyone. Trying something new. And there are a number of reasons why, and I'll probably get into some of those. But the biggest one is we can have a greater sense of community in here, and we can all help each other more easily and effectively, etc., by hosting these in here. And one of my goals for the next, for the remainder of the year is to grow this community, to be a rising tide for all. So fun and exciting. Once again, if you're watching on TikTok, you'll have to go over to Josh Shanley Coaching on YouTube, and in the description there, which if you're watching there, in the description there is the link to come hang out in the Zoom room. Let's go ahead and get started. Can you all see my screen? I think you can all see my screen. It's going to take, this is a little bit of a learning curve for me. So it's going to take me a little bit of a, it's going to take me a few days to get my bearings. I thought this was appropriate to share this morning for a number of reasons. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Friday morning, I did a bonus session, let's say, to help one of our Founders Club members. Her name is Susan. Whoops. And she was struggling with reply rate. And I genuinely was curious and confused what might be going on. So I told her that I would essentially parachute into her market because I couldn't go to Indiana in person on Friday morning, but we were on Zoom, and I was effectively in her market in the sense that I had pulled leads, absentee owners, in a particular city that she had identified as an area of opportunity, to collect some leads, to contact, to get into conversation, to connect with, to see if there's an opportunity to contract, close, and be compensated. I can't help myself with the C's there. And I only reached out to 6 leads. So there were 6 contacts that I made, 6 contacts that I reached out to. 2 of them, 2 out of the 6, turned into opportunity. Now, they're going to require work in order to get them under contract and to close and be compensated. But 2 out of 6, 33%, not too shabby. How does this relate to feel the fear and do it anyway? Well, one of the contacts, the cell phone was on the do not call list. But in looking at the contact, so I was just looking at the contact card on LeadDeck on my phone. And I'm going to get out of here. Can I still see? Yeah, we don't want that. Golly. I'm gonna stop my screen share. You got the point. Feel the fear and do it anyway. One of the contacts on my phone that I was looking at, I could tell by the email address, this might be a builder or a developer or something like that. So I pulled up the domain, and wouldn't you know, I saw the same guy's name and got to see his face and his cell phone number, the same number that was in the contact card marked as DNC. His cell phone is what he had on his website. And for a moment, I hesitated. And then I realized that I should feel the fear and do it anyway. I called the guy, and it was a great conversation. And I think it was a good reminder to me and to Susan and to anyone that had watched that, like, what's the worst that could happen? Unfortunately, we're all hardwired with DNA that years and years ago, we were hardwired to try and survive in the land of saber-toothed tigers and stuff like that. And so we still have this same wiring to stuff that really isn't that scary. It's not that bad. What's the worst thing that could happen? Let me give you an example of something terrible that could happen. And also, nothing bad happened. So this morning I wake up at 5 o'clock and I've got a voicemail. I'm like, a voicemail? At 4:39 a.m. A guy screaming at me because I have an ad running for one of my listings. And he was mad that it was so difficult for him to find the information about the property. So like I could let that affect me and make me play the game scared or whatever, or just like, who cares? Who cares? What's the worst that's going to happen? That guy's going to come fight me? Like, I don't know. He's not going to do anything. He just wanted to vent in a voicemail. Good for you, buddy. Like, yeah, you're not my client. I'm doing it that for a reason, because you just want to look at the property. You're not an actual buyer, and my job is for my client. And the only way I can help them is if I can have a conversation. So yes, we put some friction in the way of that intentionally. Who cares? Feel the fear, do it anyway. Let's rock and roll. I have been plugging away on a number of things to ensure that I win the week. So I've already made, and I'm not saying this to brag, I'm just saying that, like, you got to stack the deck in your favor. I have already made, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 calls. Well, I guess 15, some of those were inbound, but I've had 15 either voicemail or phone conversations. I've also sent a bunch of text messages. I've been reaching out to buyer's agents who have shown properties that I have listed, all in an attempt to, like, if you win the morning, you're more likely to win the day, or better yet, if you win the morning, you win the day. If you win Monday, you're more likely to win the week, right? And if you win early in the month, you're more likely to win the month. So, like, get after it, I guess, is the point. Is the point of that. And hopefully we have an offer coming on a listing that I'm just baffled that it hasn't gone yet. We'll see. What I have planned for this morning is to continue working expired listings, because I still have like 70 of them in the batch of 100 that I uploaded, and so I want to continue working through that, and I'm hoping that you all will work as you watch and or listen as well. Let me do this first, actually. I have one. I think this would be helpful. I have one from last week from the expired outreach. It's the guy that I said I keep saying this because it makes me smile. He's like Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can, and I'm Tom Hanks. Like, we've been playing cat and mouse for years. And he replied to me, and we've had a conversation. In between there, his former agent called me to see what was going on. He called me after and said, yeah, she's out of the picture. She already had her chance. I don't know why she called you. So, because I was like, well, I didn't realize you still had a contract. She's like, well, no, we don't, and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, here's what I am going to do, because I intended to do this before the session, and then I ended up on a bunch of calls and so forth. Where did it go? There it is. Here we go. So I'm going to record a video for Franklin with the offer options for him that I want to just make him aware of. And I was able to get some intel. The one good thing from the call from his former agent is that she shared with some intel that I can use in my favor as I present these offer options to Franklin. So I'm going to send him. I've already. So using our 7 C's. So who I was choosing to reach out to in this instance is expired listings from 2025 in my county, single family homes expired between September and December. I collected them through my MLS and I imported them into LeadDeck. Then I contacted them, or started to, last Wednesday, which if you want to see the replay of that, you can go to LeadDeck.AI/sprints. LeadDeck.AI/sprints. I started contacting them last Wednesday. I've had conversations now. I've reached out to approximately 30. I've had conversations or response or reply rate from probably 10 at this point. Some, I'm going to track this perfectly once I get through the whole deck. But for now, it's approximately 10 of them. Several of them have said they're no longer interested, or they're putting it on hold, or whatever. Several of them have indicated some level of interest or curiosity. Franklin is the one that I've connected with, which is the next C, the most. And so I'm going to invest into spending a little more time putting this communication together. There's another C for you, for him, to see if I can continue the connection to the point of a contract. So I'm just going to record a quick little personal loom video for him, and then you'll see how I send that over. And then I'm going to get to prospecting a little bit more, the expired listing deck that I have. Franklin, good morning. It's Josh. I wanted to get you some information as a follow-up. First one of the day, first one of the week. That was terrible. So rather than me try and edit it, I'm just going to start over. Franklin, good morning. Hey, I am still waiting on some finalized numbers from 2 different companies that I think may provide a solution worth exploring, given the circumstances that we've talked through. But in the meantime, I wanted to send you this information. So I'm going to link to this dashboard here that will give you more information about a couple of different offer options and why I think these might be worth exploring for you potentially is the fact that we're trying to navigate the buying and selling, sort of dance on your behalf. And I know that you're trying to relocate to be closer. I think it's to your daughter. And so this may offer an option where we can take care of this current property to position you to find the next property, and also then maximize the sale of this one at the end. So one of the options worth considering here is one where they will come and purchase the property. You'll get a portion of your equity upfront, allowing you to make the transition and to vacate the home. And then we would make any updates or upgrades necessary. And it doesn't sound like there's anything major, but we'd be able to do that and then sell the property on the open market for the maximum market value. And a couple of reasons why that might be beneficial. A, selling the home when it's vacant. Generally speaking, statistics say that it sells for more, 2, 3, 5% more on average, and also means that you don't have to worry about coordinating showings with the dogs, et cetera, et cetera. So I should have finalized, or at least finalized preliminary offer numbers from both of these this week and early this week at the latest, but I wanted to at least get you some information. If you could just confirm that you got this, and if you'd like, I'd be happy to chat a little later this afternoon. Typically, I would recommend that you keep your videos like this to 60 seconds or less. However, I've already connected with him. In other words, we've had multiple email exchanges and a phone conversation. So I've already earned the right for a little bit of a longer video. When I create personal video messages like this in Loom, I will change the title to for first name from me, RE, in this case, the property address. I only had one filler word. That's like a record for me. So I'm going to find Franklin here. There he is. Good morning. Hope you had a great weekend. I'm still waiting to hear back from Danielle, but I should later this morning or early afternoon. In the meantime, check this out when you have 2 minutes. So I'm going to pop that there. Now, one thing I forgot to do is if you're using our instant offers platform, which you can get unlimited free access to just the instant offers platform, to get that, the easiest way to get that is come join our free school community. And part of the bonuses, if you go to Classroom and the bonuses section, this right here is where you can get access, the invite code, etc. I am going to share with him the seller view, and it's critical that you share the seller view with the homeowner, with the property owner. It will have the names of the programs, not the names of the companies. And it has a breakdown for them and how this works. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to edit the link here to be his personal link. And so that's good. Send that. And I think we also had a text exchange. So when I create a personal video like this, I want to ensure that they actually get it. So I am going to also switch over to, let's see here, where is the email from Franklin? Let's see. I'm searching on my phone, but I don't see. Oh, there it is. There's his email, or his cell phone. Oops. I'm going to message him. Good morning, Franklin. I should have an update from Danielle later this morning or early this afternoon. In the meantime, when you have 2 minutes, check this out. Whoops. That was the link to his dashboard. I want to send the link to the video. All right, I can cross him off the list, at least for now. I'm going to have to circle back with him this afternoon. Pretty excited. I have a, I guess you would call it a preliminary. I wouldn't call it a listing appointment per se, but a preliminary appointment with a seller this afternoon from my guy Ed, my local guy Ed, who's making calls. He's the one that I said is handpecking in. He's not even. I gave, I tried to have him use the app, and he just was more efficient that way. And he's been sending me on average 2 engaged leads per day of work. So I mean, I'm not gonna. If you're wondering how I have it set it up, I'm not. I don't know if this is right, wrong, or whatever, but I'm doing it as a trial, and I'm paying him per engaged lead. So he brings me a warm engaged lead. He gets paid. And he's bringing me about 2 a day. And I have several more that I need to follow up with today, but I have the one in-person appointment, 12:45 this morning, this afternoon with Joanne. She's a senior owner. Actually, since I'm on that front, I got to do this anyway as well. So I might as well share this before, and I promise I'm getting into expired prospecting here in a minute. But when I meet with a property owner like Joanne, for 2 reasons, for my own knowledge and to prepare myself for that appointment and to be able to share with the homeowner, I put together, I will build a Google folder, a Google Drive folder for the property. What is the property address? There it is. 38 North Manola Road. While I'm doing this, I'm just curious, and Kathy, feel free to. But Kathy, how did your call go on Saturday? Anything fun or exciting to report? I can. Yeah, I mean, it works. The good news is it works almost or very, very similarly to Zoom, thankfully. Beautiful. The- Yeah, the instant offer platform with fastcashoffers.ai. Beautiful. Beautiful. I would not explain the fees until it makes sense. In other words, I don't explain them until it becomes an objection or a question. So, and it will, and that's good because when it does, that means they're seriously thinking about it, or they're at least curious enough to ask, and that offers or opens the door to pivot to a better solution. So just to confirm, you like this price, but it's the fees that you don't like. By the way, I totally get it, and I would feel the same if I were you. If we could get you that price with significantly less fees, is that something worth exploring in more detail? And I'm just off the cuff here. And just I want to fill in some gaps for folks that may have no idea the context of this. Kathy emailed me, I think it was Thursday, doesn't really matter, but last week she had reached out to 4 inherited leads. Was it in a specific zip code? And you don't have to say the zip code, but results not typical, whatever, but like also possible if you do the work, if you do the work. And refresh my memory. Um this is in Chicago, or this is in your new market? Right. Well, thank you for sharing, and kudos to you on not just waiting around and making things happen in the interim, right? Like, love it, love it, love it. Yeah, good stuff, and thanks for being open to share. So I'm just adding things to the Google Drive folder as we're talking here. I'm putting in the RPR AVM report. I put in the Remind report, which has a couple of different ones. There are any like it doesn't really matter what you put in here. Use whatever you have. I just like to have information and data available that I can point to or reference in the appointment so that I sound like and look like I am an expert. The next thing that I will do is I will find or do my best to find the actual comparable sales. I can't even tell if is this half a duplex or is this, yeah, it must be half a duplex or half a double. Um, let's see here. Yeah, 1280. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, listen, we're not we're there's this is a judgment free zone. We welcome anyone and everyone, and we have other wholesalers who are using LeadDeck. So you're more than welcome, and there's lots of ways that look. What we're looking for is people that are open to an offer, and then finding the buyers for that. As long as you're doing that in a legal and compliant way, you're more than welcome to hang out and it is so the license is 299 per month, and we offer a variety of packages. So we offer a 3-month, 6-month, and 12-month license that comes with varying levels of discounts. And if you are interested or would like more information, if you go to LeadDeck.AI /plan, you can answer a couple of quick questions. And then I put together a personalized plan based upon the answers to those questions. I'm not following what you mean. Are you talking about when I mentioned Ed, that I have this fella Ed calling on my behalf? Is that what you mean? Oh, okay. That is something very new. Like if you're not doing any deals, or if you don't have a pipeline full of opportunity, I would highly recommend that you make the calls at least long enough to know the process and get comfortable with the scripting and what you need to do and how you need to do it in your market to get predictable results before you go and yep. So I'm just playing with the filters here to get the active, pending, and sold properties that most accurately align or are comparable to this property, just so I have the information. And then once I have that, I'm going to take a look at these as well, just to like visually see which of them might be most similar. Like that one is pretty similar. And that one's fully renovated, so that's a renovated. This one I'm guessing is not. Might have even been a buyer or back on the market because of buyer financing. So what I'm looking for here is as is, and then top of the market, so that I can have those two things in my mind as I'm going through, and giving myself the the ability to speak confidently and competently about what is the top end. You know, if this were fully renovated, completely turnkey, retail buyer, this is most likely what we'd be looking at. And this is what I think it will bring as is right now. And then depending on the conversation, this is what it would bring as is private sale. So private sale as is, on market as is, fully renovated as is. Those are most often the three options that I'm providing when meeting with a potential seller like this. North Enola Road, MLS comps. So I'm going to put that in here, and then a couple of other things that I will do, and then I'm going to get to some live prospecting expireds. So I've got some AVM values, I've got MLS comps, I've got pricing strategy, just a pricing strategy guide here, and we have a better one that that Stuart had put together. I can't remember what I called it to find it in my saved area here. What did we, do you remember what that was called, Stuart? Like the name of the file? I know I have it saved here somewhere. Let me see here. If you want copies of this, I'm going to say drop a comment in the schoolroom, and here it is. Here we go. Strategic pricing overview and the pricing strategy overviews, pros and cons. I can't remember which one I prefer. Okay, that one looks fancy. I like this one better. This was from Notebook LM. I think that. Yep, perfect. So I'm going to add that in there as well. If you want a copy, both of the PDFs are unbranded, so you can use them if you'd like, and we'll get those in the chat. If you're watching on TikTok, you got to check out the Josh Shanley Coaching YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, the link to the community, which also is how you can join in the room here, is in the description. The last thing I'm going to do before I pivot and start doing some outreach is in Bold Trail, I'm going to add this as a manual listing, and I'll explain and demonstrate why I'm doing that. You'll see at the end here. So I'm just putting in the location. The listing type is exclusive because it's not actually on the market. It's semi-detached. What do they call it in here? Half duplex? Doesn't really matter. Oh, really? Then we'll get it. Drop a comment. Drop a comment if you want the files, and we'll either DM it or I'll create a post that has them that you can download. And maybe I have to do it. Maybe when I'll stop my share here in a minute once I'm done with this, and I'll take a closer look at. We're learning on the fly here with the Zoom room. I'm sorry, with the community. School community. Oh, I didn't realize that. You're saying on Zoom you did what? I didn't even know that was a thing. I had no idea that's how that worked. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, maybe they are very much open to feedback. They being school and the founders. So I'll make that recommendation. Can we make some hotkeys for unmuting? Okay, so I just took the time to add some information. I'm not putting any photos. I don't really care about much of this. I'm only doing this for one reason, which is to get what, for whatever reason, Bold Trail calls a pitch sheet. So this is relevant because what every property owner who's thinking about selling wants is an offer/buyer. We're the necessary evil. Okay. Nobody wakes up in the morning and is like, boy, I can't wait to get a listing agent today. No, nobody says that. Nobody thinks that. They want a buyer. They want an offer. And so it's just they just call it a pitch sheet. This is the total number of active buyers in EXP. So EXP is a national brokerage. So this is all active buyers across all Bold Trail users with EXP. And then active in this price range. Now, this is nationwide. Then we have 280 active buyers in Enola, and then 84 in that price range. And I think they use like a 25,000 plus or minus. All of that to say, I want to be able to demonstrate, if and where applicable, we actually have buyers. And also, we have offers for you as well. So I will also pull this up so I know what those look like as well. So I'm going to download this. Active buyers. I'm going to drop that in the folder. Whoops. There. And still creating. I'll just take a quick look at these. I'm going to save it as a snapshot. That way it's saved. And that is really weird. No quick buy or Zoom Casa. It must not recognize the address for some reason. So I may have to manually request offers from Danielle and Cheryl on this one, if we get to that point. Which we may not even. Okay, so, golly, let me stop my share. They have to have hotkeys here. I need to figure out what the hotkeys are for this. We'll get that sorted out. Today is the first of of a learning curve process. I can't believe you can't put anything in the, can't put files in the chat. Is there somewhere else that I can put files? Let me see here. Settings, Wi-Fi effects. Well, I will. I'll make sure to go back through the requests, and I'll get you a copy of both of those for those who are interested. Okay, so I'm prepped and ready for my 12:45, and I got to Franklin, and now I need to get back to some live prospecting. There's a simple. Let me back up even farther. So on Friday with Susan, I emphasized a point that I've referenced often, which is if you're not getting the reply or response rate that you hear others talking about, Kathy, myself, etc., it's one of three problems. It's either the market that you're contacting or you're messaging, the message itself, or the method. And the method could mean a couple of different things. And in thinking through what could possibly be going wrong here, in other words, why is Susan getting a significantly lower response rate than I am and that others are? One of the things that came up for me that I remembered was working better previously, and I was, I'll say, convinced with good reason to pivot from, was the sequence or the method of contact. Okay, I would clarify this as method. I have been texting, then calling, then emailing. In November, December, October, September, even like before LeadDeck, I would call, text, then email. And that is what I would recommend that you all do. As much as there is logic in the idea that if you text first, it is more likely to show up as not spam. The reality is, if the fastest shortcut to the conversation and the connection is the phone call. So one of two things will happen. Number one, they'll answer and you'll have a conversation and you'll find out right then and there if it's at all in the consideration set for them. Number two, you can leave them a voicemail if they don't answer, which you then should reference in the text message if you have a cell phone that you were calling. Hey, Kathy, this is Josh with eXp Realty. I just left you a voicemail, then a question. Then you email, etc. And so it's just logical. If that's the shortest path to a client, the conversation, let's start with that, and then we can text and email, etc. So I've got one here, primary residence. The first number's on the DNC. It's also a landline. All of the phone numbers on here are landlines. That one's disconnected. I'm going to try and enhance it to see if we can get any cell phones. I'm just hitting the purple button there. It added, yep. So I got 2 cell phones now. I mean, the logic makes sense. James said, good tip. I was doing the text first. The logic makes sense, but the reality is a conversation is what we want first and foremost. So, and I also have noticed that I get greater overall response rate by referencing the voicemail. Yeah, hi. I'm trying to reach Layla about the property at 6122 Wallingford Way. I was just curious if you're still accepting offers on the property. If you could let me know either way, feel free to call or text me back, whatever is easiest for you. And this is my personal cell phone. Thanks. Susan's working. I love it. Okay. Okay. I don't. I have no idea. The second one. What do you mean? Oh, okay, but the text, um, I don't know, the text has it for whatever it's worth. Okay, yes. Sure, I don't no, I normally do. You're saying in my preliminary voicemail, the screening message, I didn't say I was with I think what more matters is I was calling about this address. Well, also, like Friday, I was just testing stuff because the amount of contacts that you had sent me that you have made without replies, like we got to blow everything up and just try whatever, like because I know it is possible, probable to get 10, 20, 30, 40, even 50% response rate. And when I say response rate, I'm saying not necessarily positive, number one. Number two, when I quote that kind of response rate, I mean from this one property, if they respond in any way, shape, or form to my text, email, or phone, that is a 1 for 1. I'm not saying that, I'm not, when I quote 10%, I'm not saying like per channel, I'm saying per contact. And I'm clarifying that not necessarily for Susan, but for people that think like, that must be BS or whatever. I'm saying that if Layla replies to my email, that's a one, like that means this contact responded or replied. So if I contact 100 property owners and I use whatever method possible, when I'm saying how many responded out of that 100, it's they responded either by phone, text, or email. And it might have been, yes, we'd love an offer, or F off. Like anything, that is an actual response. So I at least know yes, no, maybe so, whatever's going on. Yeah, I mean, you got to stop to them when, and what did you say to them? But you wouldn't have gotten that if you had called first and she picked up. Right. But I'm not blaming you because we've been saying for months text first. And the reality is I think that's flawed strategy. Okay. Yeah. So here, everybody listening, if you call and someone has the AI thing turned on, this is not their voicemail. It will say basically, please state your name and why you're calling before it even rings them. If you get that, state your name and why you're calling. This is Josh with eXp Realty. Apparently, I didn't say with eXp Realty with this particular one, but I would say this is Josh with eXp Realty. I'm calling because I have a question about your property at street address. That would be what I would say for the, like, not even the voicemail, but the message that they will hear before it rings. This is, and then if you get the longer voicemail, then I'll reiterate it. I'll just say it again. This is Josh Shanley with eXp Realty. And if I'm calling expireds in the full voicemail, I'll probably mention or include the, I'm just curious if you're still accepting offers. And if you would, please let me know either way. I'm going to try this other mobile number that's not on the DNC that came back from the enhanced on. I did already send emails to the 4 emails for it. So this is a second number. I'm going to leave a slightly different voicemail. Please leave your message for 267-444-4313. Yeah, hi. I'm trying to reach Layla about the property at 6122 Wallingford Way. I'm not sure if I have the right number or not, but I just had a quick question about the property. I'm going to shoot a text as well. If this is Layla, if you could let me know. And if not, if you could pass along the message, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much. Have a good day. Okay, so guys, just call. Just call. Like I don't know, but I can tell you, like, I feel like some of you are trying to prove that stuff doesn't work. And I'm not saying this you, Stuart, but just call. Just call. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person or the right thing to the wrong person. We want to have good strategy. We want to follow best practices, etc. But sometimes, like, also, I'm live streaming across the internet. Like, if I was not doing this, I would probably have my script up and I'd be more polished. But when I'm just calling, I'm just calling. Like, all right. I'm going to move on to the next one. Say mobile number, not on the DNC. Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available. Yeah, hi, this is Josh with eXp Realty. I just had a quick question about 104 Berkshire Drive. It's the AI thing. Thanks, Josh. Please stay on the line. The crazy thing is it says thanks, Josh. Please stay on the line. Like, it hears you. Like, it's pretty creepy on some level. And if I remember correctly, I've said my last name on it, and it even pronounced it right. Oh, they hung up. This is Josh with eXp Realty. Just tried to call, but it seems like it got disconnected. So I just sent that, referencing the fact that I tried to call, but it got disconnected, and I asked if they're still accepting offers. There's a landline, but it's most likely broken, and it's not even a local line, so it seems pointless to even try that. And then I would say that this is most likely this guy's email. So I would be shocked if I don't get a response in some form or fashion on that one. It might not be a yes, but I'll get a reply. 5 numbers, all on the DNC. So I'm just going to tap to email. Again, I think this is probably the right email. There are 3 of them. One is a Gmail, 2 are Comcast. All of those, in my experience, are potentially live active numbers. So I'm going to hit them all. 53 Shell Duck. Okay, so bad number. First number, the first position number is on the DNC. The second position is a mobile, not on the DNC, but it's not a good number. So I am going to tap. It's a Gmail, Yahoo, Yahoo are the 3 emails. So why not tap them all? Oh, this is funny. I talked to this one this morning because they requested, they clicked on there. They must already be in my database. They opened and clicked my homeowner email from last week, the email that I sent to all of the people in my database that I have their number. I'm sorry, their property address and an email. And instead of the updated home value, it was explore multiple offer options instantly. And so I already talked to her. They're not, she was kind, but they're not thinking about selling right now. Hi, is that Jeff? No. Geez. Okay. Not Jeffrey Conradi. Okay. Well, my apologies. Oh, well, that's weird. Okay. Well, maybe you know. I was calling because I was calling about 825 High Mountain Road. Do you have any idea if he is still accepting offers on it? Oh, really?
825 High Mountain Road?
Yeah.
They're building up there.
Interesting. Huh. They bought it. Okay. Got it. Well, I don't know how we got our info mixed up there, but I appreciate you taking the call and for the info.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Thanks. So that must be my fault because I think that's land they bought and they're building on it. So I don't know how it showed up as a expired listing. But that was his son, the guy's son. All right. This next one, I've got one number that's not on the DNC, but it's likely not working because it's down on the list. Wait a minute. Here it comes. Who cares? But it's a Gmail. So why not? Let's see here. All right. Third position mobile number, not on the DNC. Give it a whirl.
your message for 41280111172.
Yeah, hi. I'm not sure if I have the right number or not, but I'm trying to reach Chandra about the property at 55 Hamlet Circle in Mechanicsburg. I just had a quick question. If this is the right number, if you could get back to me, call or text, whatever's easiest. And if not, if you could pass it along, I would be grateful. Thanks. Have a good day. All right. That's unfortunate that it is maybe not the right number, but the Gmail, again, for whatever reason, the emails for these expired leads seem to be pretty good. Hey, this is Josh with eXp Realty. Period. Just left you a voicemail. And then, are you still accepting offers? And it might not be the right person, but I've had lots of instances where people pass it along. Like, if I had texted the last guy who was his son, a lot of times they'll, at least in my experience, they end up passing along the information to the right person, especially if you know how you position it or pose it to them. All right, all of these are on the DNC, so I'm just gonna tap to, I'm not even gonna tap the third one because it has no relevance. It's like a weird name at a weird email. I will, generally speaking, email just about all of them on there, but if it's like really goofy like that, I don't think it's a waste of time. Oh, I know this one. Let me see. I wonder if I have. Oops. Yeah, I thought I knew that one. That's one that I've talked to a few times. So I'm just going to skip that one for now. I'm going to call it quits on the expireds on this one because I have a few more low-hanging fruit calls that I need to make, and I'm going to wrap it on that. So I'm going to call. This is a buyer that I first spoke with. I pulled him in LeadDeck for, I think I was just following the like the OG 3-step deal sprint blueprint. And I've got a property that, actually 2 off-market properties that if he's not interested, he may know. How's that, Brian?
Yes.
Brian, good morning. It's Josh Shanley with eXp Realty. How are you?
Good.
Hey, do you have 1 minute? Sounds like, I don't know. You're on a tractor? Okay, that sounds like fun. Well, I can shoot you an email, but I was just reaching out. I've got a couple of off-market multifamily properties in Newport, and I was just more so curious if you knew anybody who might be interested. If easier, I can. Yeah, I knew that, but I figured you also know people up that way, so it wouldn't hurt to call. Okay. Okay. Well, it doesn't hurt to ask. Doesn't hurt to ask. So I'll keep you posted on anything else more in your wheelhouse. Yep. I'll keep you posted. Thanks, Brian. Have a great week. Bye. Take your shots. Take your shots. It's not really what he's looking for, which is not what I was asking. But then he was also like, I don't really talk to that many people, which is kind of funny, but might be true. All right. Now I got a couple of Ed leads that I got to follow up on. Um, my goal was 25 a day. That's about what he's working. I don't even know that he's getting to 25. He's gone through. He started last Monday, and I could check exactly because he makes notes on all. It's less than 100. It's less than 100 that he's been through thus far. Hmm. Hmm. Two engaged leads per day. You know, but if it turns for me, what I'm paying him for one appointment a week, if that's like even if that's like the if that's my like bare minimum win, not bad. And he last week I got the appointment today from him. I have another um, potential buildable lot listing that I'm going back and forth with the owner on, and then a couple of others that I need to circle back on. Some of them are buyers because he is doing a good job of going for three no's. So he's calling to see if they are open to an offer, but then asking, "Do you have any other properties?" And if it's a second no, "Are you looking to buy?" And he's gotten at least two, maybe three that have multiple properties that aren't really looking to sell those, but are in the market. So part of the circling back is for me to clarify their buy box and get more information on that front. You bet. This is I'm going to finish typing this and then I'll show here. About buying, selling, or investing. Oops. Please keep us in mind. So this is someone who they had clicked on the link that I mentioned with the multiple offers. I called first, left a voicemail, then sent this. "Good morning, Ginny. This is Josh with eXp Realty. Just left you a voicemail. Looks like you had been exploring offer options for street address on our site recently. Did you get all the info you were looking for?" She said, "Nothing needed. Thank you," which, I mean, it's totally fine. "You bet. If or when anything changes, or if you hear anyone in the area talking about buying, selling, or investing, please keep us in mind." You never know. Planting seeds, planting seeds. Let me find Ed here. I'm going to make probably one call and then I need to wrap up because I have a Zoom call at 11. I think that was the AI thing, but it was like jacked up. Thomas, hey, good morning. This is Josh with eXp Realty. I think late last week you spoke with Ed on our team, and he was calling about a property. And it sounds like you are more looking to buy or add to your portfolio versus selling anything you've got right now. And so I was hoping to maybe connect with you and have a quick chat so we can keep in mind whatever it is that you may be looking for and kind of put you on our short list to be notified when we come across something that would work for you. I'll shoot you a text as well, and hope to have a quick chat maybe sometime later today. Thanks. That was long and meandering, but morning, Thomas, period. This is Josh with eXp Realty, period. Just left you a voicemail, period. I think you spoke with Ed on our team last week, period. Was reaching out to chat about what kind of properties you may be looking to add to your portfolio. You available this afternoon sometime, question mark? I should have double checked my, sometimes I get a little fast on the trigger, and the talk to text isn't, it was just slightly off, but whatever. Okay, so I'm going to kind of wrap this up. Some housekeeping items. Tomorrow is a travel day for me. No Closers Cafe. I'm still undetermined on Wednesday and Thursday. I'll be Pacific Standard Time. It's going to really mess with my sleep and confuse my brain because we just had a time change, and then I'm going. So I don't know how, but you can stay tuned for that. And then this will be the new place for the Closers Cafe, retiring the Zoom sessions for those. And I'll make sure that we get back to everybody that had asked for the pricing strategy PDF infographic thingamajigs. And for those of you, if you're watching one of the live streams, if you're not part of the school community, there is a link in the description where you can come join for free. And tomorrow, we're doing the auction, offer that we've been teasing for a couple of weeks. I think it'll be fun and exciting, a little something different that I'll be checking in on throughout the day as I'm traveling. Don't tell Caden, but I'm going to watch his game first tomorrow. He doesn't know. I'm going to fly to Louisville to watch the game and then fly from Louisville to Vegas tomorrow night. So, yes. I appreciate the kind words, Jim. I appreciate it. I'm far from perfect, but I'm doing. I am, and we. I mean, Sean. I wouldn't have been able to build. I wouldn't have been able to build LeadDeck. So I just told him what I wanted it to be able to do, and he has been working tirelessly since September to make that happen. And it won't ever get any worse than it is right now. I think it's great right now, and we're only going to make it better. He is routinely making enhancements and updates and upgrades. Many of you watched his Feature Friday video with the enhancements over the last week. And when you have leads and then you have, good strategy, I think, this business, it's still not easy, but it doesn't have to be as hard as some people might make it. So I will say very transparently, for years I wasn't. And I knew that I had to get back into it because it is very well, not you can't. It is very hard to relate if you're not in the trenches on some level. It is very difficult to relate because I do this often still. I will say what I think will work. And then when I actually do it, I'm like, damn it, that didn't work as well as this would. David Glogger, I don't think he's here, but he had reached out to me last Saturday for expired scripting. There were 2 variations in there. The one I thought would work, he was like, that was terrible. The one that, whatever, I was still good. He was getting 10 plus response rate to one and 0 to the other, right? So like, we just got to try stuff, and the market will tell us, what works and doesn't work. No matter how smart I may think I am, it doesn't matter. The market is, the market is who matters, right? Who we're trying to help and getting those responses to get those opportunities. So thanks, Jim. I appreciate the kind words, and yeah. It's a setting thing then? Okay. I will definitely, yeah, that's a good call. I'll definitely, it must be outside of this because the settings, while this is open, I don't see it, but it's probably like in an admin setting panel. So I'll get to the bottom of that because we reference a lot of stuff in here. So we definitely want to be able to share that more easily and readily for sure. Yeah. Good call. In fact, since we're still here, I'm going to at least, I didn't even think of this. So at worst, here you go. Here's the one that I used. This is the Google Drive doc that you should be able to open and download if you want. The one that is the notebook LM version. Oh wait, I replied to Kathy. How do I reply to? Hold on. Nope. Why does it keeps replying to Kathy? I'll get it figured out. First go of this. Maiden voyage, closures Café right in school. So we'll get the kinks ironed out. I'll make sure that we get the a copy to everyone who requested it, and stay tuned. Thanks everybody.